Jake from State Farm, that Maya markdown saved me so much on my insurance.
Maya, everyone gets surprisingly great rates with State Farm.
How can I ever repay you?
When you want the real deal, like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Nick Foles makes his Jaguars regular season debut this Sunday. What a way to do it as Jacksonville welcomes in Pat Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs. Let's find a keys to victory for each team, and then get our NFL media experts to weigh in on who will win this one. If New England is going to end its Miami curse, this has to be the week they do it.
Right?
The Patriots take on the Dolphins Sunday, who are already reeling after a blowout loss to the Ravens in Week 1. We'll see if First, let's cover a couple keys to the game.
Bucky, I think this is the
marquee matchup
of the week. The Baltimore Ravens and Kansas City Chiefs last year played a wildly entertaining game, and I think we see another entertaining game this time. Your thoughts on the Chiefs and what you're looking at in that one?
I mean, it's all about their offense.
Well, here we are, Buck, through 3 weeks of the season.
This undefeated, not surprising.
However,
they already say division this week.
Take on the Buffalo Bills.
Also,
I would say that is a little bit of a surprise.
It might be a surprise, but
the Ravens are off to Pittsburgh, hoping to get things back on track, while the Steelers finally have a little confidence in their strut. We'll see if our prediction panel thinks they can keep it up. But first, a look at how the two clubs stack up on paper.
I think this might be the
Day of the weekend.
Just get some because when the Houston Texans and the Kansas City Chiefs get together,
the Chargers head east this week, desperate to try and get their season back on track. They get a Titans team that finds itself in the exact same position. Predictions are on the horizon, but first let's have a look at 3 of the biggest keys for each side. Denver hits the road this week, their season sort of teetering in the balance now. They get a Colts squad whose confidence is on the way up after a big win over their divisional rival. The Colts are back on the road this week, which is how the Steelers are feeling as they try to claw their way back to the 500 mark. Predictions are on the way, but first let's crunch some numbers.
Oh, this is the way it's the short trip as always.
The Lions are on the road again this week, but instead of heading all the way to Oakland, they'll make the short journey to Chicago, take on the Bears in a game that will determine who gets to claim last place in the NFC North. Predictions are in the oven, and we'll be ready for consumption right after we sort through a few key stats.
Back to D10 podcast.
The best quarterback matchup of the season, one we've seen at the collegiate level, going to see it here at the NFL level when you look at the Texans going on the road to take on the Baltimore Ravens.
The Jaguars are heading out of town this week to take on the rested Titans, who are very much alive for a playoff berth. Predictions on this key AFC South battle are knocking on the door, but before we open it, let's use the peephole to check out some stats. The Browns going on the road this time to take on the Steelers, who still have hopes of postseason play dancing in their heads. Predictions on round 2 in a moment, but before the bell rings, let's peruse a few stats.
This is a huge matchup between the Baltimore Ravens sitting right now in the number 1 seed, going down the road to take on a Buffalo Bills team that, Buck, I'd say one of the big surprises in the NFL this year. What's taking place in Buffalo?
Could the Broncos really do it again? Denver will try and stick it to another AFC playoff hopeful when they face the Chiefs, who are fighting for a better seed as the season winds down. Predictions are about to boil over, but let's turn the heat down for a minute and heat up a few stats. The Steelers face another New York team. This time, they are away from home fighting for their playoff lives. Meanwhile, the Jets have a group of players and coaches trying to build momentum into next season. Let's visit some of the biggest deciding factors in this matchup and then get to some predictions.
All right, Buck. Well, we have the Pittsburgh Steelers going on the road to take on the Baltimore Ravens, although it's not going to necessarily look like the Baltimore Ravens. A lot of starters going to be rested in this one. It looks like we're going to get a chance to see Archie start under center for the Ravens in this one.
Yeah, it has to be